What is our project today? Looks like I got a bucket here with some simple green in it, nice and dirty looking. Boy, I used quite a few tools already, haven't I? Razor blade, here a sheetrock knife, and even a metal brush, and even a paintbrush. What the deal? Homer! Hey, Homer's here in the house. Yes, you see this tile tub? This, back quite a few years ago, okay, I don't know, 20 years ago, this was considered an upgrade when you had a built-in tub that was tiled like this. And the homeowner thought that this was leaking. Now, I didn't show you, I wasn't even going to show you anything. This is just going to be a quick how-to video on caulking, okay? Yes, silicone tub and tile. And the reason why they're going to caulk it, see around the drain right there, see how it's a little suspect. Now it's not really leaking, but they had, and see right in there, now they had some caulking. You should have seen it. I should have taken a video of it real quick. It cracked me up. It was so awful. I had to clean it all off, and that's why I used all these tools. And it doesn't even look like there was ever any caulking in there, does it? You know, I cleaned it all up, I swept it all up. I then cleaned it with simple green because there was some mold that was growing in there and stuff. And now I'm gonna re-caulk it. Now, really, in reality, something like this, now that's the other thing I was gonna tell you. Something like this here, before they installed the concrete on the floor, before they put the tiles down, this should have been hot tarred. And there's probably, if you were to pull all this up, there should be hot tar down there, and then they filled it up a little bit. It had to be all inspected. The inspector would have had to have come out. And this drain, actually down below that, there's weep holes. You can't see them. And down by the, just above the hot tar area that was filled up, the idea is, and there's weep holes down there, so if you had any water that was underneath here, it's not going to leak down through the ceiling down, because we're up on a second floor here. It would not leak or anything. The water could seep through and weep through any of the grout, let's say, and if it did, it gets down into that other pan, and then it runs. Everything is directed over to the drain, and there's other weep holes around that drain underneath. Does that make sense? So I don't think this tub is ever going to leak. Now, they did have a leak downstairs, and the leak was about right here, and it had to have been because of this toilet. Now, this is a new style toilet. They had an old one there, and I believe the wax ring was leaking. It came out underneath this tile, came this direction, and then found an area to get underneath the floor, maybe through a crack of the subfloor or something like that, and then drip, drip, drip downstairs. Okay, it was not coming from here, but because this was all bad before, we cleaned up all the silicone, and I'm going to give it a fresh coat. Now, usually you do not have to do that. I would just clean the floor real good on the cracks and stuff, but because they had it before, I told them I would do it for them. Okay, and I'm using actual silicone. This is 100% silicone. It's tub and tile, and it says it's designed for showers, drains, bathtubs, and that. You don't want to get anything that is not 100% silicone based. If you get silicone with acrylic in it, you have to read the directions, read the very fine print like this. Some say it cannot be, you can't caulk below a water line, you know. Now, lots of tub and tile stuff with acrylic silicone. It's got both acrylic and silicone in it. They say it's for bathroom areas, and that's usually for something, if you're going to decide to caulk around a toilet or something, or maybe up here next to a sink or something, and you're caulking it down here. you know, above the water line, or if you have a bathtub, a regular bathtub, and you want to caulk the top edge of the bathtub all the way around or something like that. You know, not really designed that if you're going to take a bath and fill up this water that you're going to have it constantly underwater or something. Okay, so make sure if you're going to use something, use the right stuff. Now I'm not really going to show you how to put this on other than I have other videos on my channel that show you how to caulk a bathtub. But with this stuff here, if you're going to use 100% silicone, you just have to be real careful with it, because when you get that on there, you just have to, you know, if you wipe up the excess, it's a little bit different than using something with acrylic. I usually like to use the acrylic stuff because then I can get my finger wet and wipe, you know, the excess off or whatever, do a little bit at a time. Usually with 100% silicone, you have to be a little bit more careful. Make sure you have a small tip on here. I'm going to cut this off at a very small tip, okay, so I don't spooge it all over the place. And I want more is not better when you're talking about silicone caulking. You want to get a nice thin bead on there, and don't get all kinds of excess on your finger and slathered all up the edges and stuff like that. Do a good job. Try a small little area first before you start running a whole long line of it or something, okay? That's it from this time.